I get it scrolling through endless listings of wine coolers. You spot a sleek stainless steel front, a dual-zone promise, maybe even a photo of the unit tucked neatly under a countertop. Then you order, only to find the thing sticks out like a sore thumb, or the wine zone never quite gets cold enough for that vintage you saved for a special dinner. That frustration is real, and it's why I'm digging into the Summit Appliance ALFD24WBVCSS before you click Add to Cart. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, this isn't just another countertop cooler. It's designed to sit either built-in or freestanding in a 24-inch opening, and it's only 32 inches tall, exactly the height you need to slide under the lower section of an ADA-compliant counter without a single inch of awkward overhang. That detail matters because a lot of premium models either assume you have a standard 36-inch countertop or force you to sacrifice cabinet space. If your kitchen or bar area was built with accessibility in mind, the extra clearance this unit gives you could be the difference between a seamless look and a jarring visual break. The dual-zone concept is the headline feature. One compartment stays at a cooler 3840F for everyday drinks, think sodas, beers, or a pitcher of sangria, while the other keeps wine at a more traditional cellar temperature, around 55-58F. In real life, that means you can pull a glass of white wine for an appetizer and still have a cold beer waiting for the main course without juggling separate appliances. For a small family or a couple who likes to entertain, that convenience translates into less countertop clutter and fewer trips to the fridge. Who should actually consider this unit? If you live in an apartment or a condo where every inch of cabinet space is fought over, the 24-inch width is a sweet spot. It's also a solid fit for anyone who has already installed lower ADA-compliant counters and needs a cooler that won't force a remodel. The seamless stainless steel trim around the glass doors adds a touch of modern polish that blends well with contemporary kitchens. So if style is part of your buying equation, this unit checks that box without needing a separate decorative frame. On the flip side, if you're a serious collector with a dozen or more bottles that need precise temperature control, you might find this cooler a bit cramped. The narrow profile limits how many bottles you can stack on each shelf, and because the design leans heavily on a sleek glass front, you lose a few interior shelves that a more utilitarian model might provide. Also, the dual-zone system is calibrated for typical drinking ranges. It's not meant for long-term aging of delicate vintages that require tighter tolerances. In short, serious connoisseurs looking for a cellar-grade unit should look elsewhere. The practical strengths show up when you actually use the cooler day to day. The door jar alarm is a subtle but useful reminder that you left the unit open, which can save a few degrees of heat loss, something you rarely see on cheaper models. The temperature alarm is another safety net. If the compressor fails or the door stays open too long, the unit will flash a warning, giving you time to intervene before your drinks go warm. Those features feel less like nice-to-have and more like everyday safeguards, especially in a busy household where the door gets opened repeatedly during gatherings. Another hidden trade-off is the noise level. Because the compressor sits behind a relatively thin stainless steel panel, the unit produces a low hum that you'll notice if you place it right against a wall or a kitchen island. In most real-world settings like a dining room or a home bar, the sound blends into the background, but if you plan to keep it directly next to a bedroom or a quiet office, that hum could become an annoyance. It's not a deal-breaker for most, but it's worth keeping in mind when you're measuring where the cooler will sit. From a value perspective, the rating of 3.4 stars out of over 1,000 reviews tells a story of mixed experiences. Some buyers praise the sleek look and the convenience of having both wine and everyday beverages in one place, while others point out the limited capacity and occasional temperature fluctuations. Since we don't have detailed user excerpts, the safest bet is to align your expectations with what the specs promise. A stylish, space-saving dual-zone cooler that works well for moderate use, rather than a high-end wine cellar replacement. If you're the type who enjoys hosting dinner parties and wants a single appliance that can serve chilled white wine, a crisp roast, and a few cold beers without cluttering the counter, the Summit ALFD24WBVCSS could be a solid match. Pair it with a modest collection of bottles, say, a dozen reds and a half-dozen whites, and you'll get the convenience of grabbing exactly what you need without hunting through a fridge. The sleek glass doors also double as a display case, so your favorite bottles can become part of the room's decor rather than hidden in a back-of-house fridge. Conversely, if you're